Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at Filecoin, seeing what's going on, helping understand the next step here, because this coin isn't looking as bad as a lot of other coins. It's kind of more range bound than making lower lows and lower highs. So we're gonna have to talk about that and just kind of identify potential shifts in momentum. Now, these lines in the chart, basically, these are the previous heavy concentrations of liquidation. Just to kind of give you perspective, we'll redraw those out. They might have changed a little bit, but $5.50 was the previous, I wouldn't say support level, but the lower level for liquidation, which oftentimes can be a support, just based on the simple fact that most liquidation levels occur as support levels. So let's see here. Let's take a look here at this range here, and I think it was what, 550 if I'm not mistaken, right there. Yeah, it's still about the same, 550, and again upwards of about $8. So that hasn't changed too much since yesterday. Again, when things get range bound, all you really do is see people, just adding to their position or taking new positions and closing old ones. But we did obviously miss our validation here recently for the uptrend. So what we want to look at here is a couple of things too, and kind of just see where we're at. So what we're going to look at is the daily time frame and work our way down. Of course, our FIB levels are still accurate from a most recent low to most recent high. We can see that we're at this 0.786 level, this lower level here, retesting that. That is somewhat of a previous resistance. So you can kind of see this little range here where the price action had difficulty crossing, eventually used that as a support and continued higher from there. So generally not a terrible place here. So what we want to look at is a few things here. First of all, stochastic RSI is giving us indication that price may turn around. It's getting really low. You can only push so low for so long, right? So hypothetically, we're getting a bounce soon with 50 on the RSI being a potential bottom point. Okay, so again, $5.90 as a close approximate is potentially a support level for us. However, we are diverging on the MACD here, basically telling us further downside is likely. Okay. So again, when I see this, I don't love trading into a MACD divergence and 50 on the RSI. While 50 on the RSI should hold as a support, it may not. Okay. And if we take a look here, the 50-day and 20-day SMA are still below the price action. Today's trading day hasn't closed yet. We got 5 more hours in this candle, but we can see, of course, that the price action could consider bouncing from here. Okay. So if that is the case, yeah, great news. We got the price. We'll just take off from here. But we never want to assume that's going to happen. Okay. So again, good and bad stuff here, but staying above this ascending trend line is extremely important. Okay. So that's kind of our saving grace for the moment. Take a look at the 4-hour. We're below 3 moving averages, above 1. So really not a great sign here, not a good look. We want to be back up over the 20-day SMA at the very least. So the price continues to work its way down with the 20-day SMA. We'll know that's going to be a resistance. When it breaks above, we could very well see an uptrend. Now, what we're looking for in an uptrend is range-bound activity. So we want to break our most recent high with a higher high. In other words, we got to get above this guy with a higher high and continue to move upwards. We'll look at that on the hourly, a little easier to identify, but for now, MACD trying to converge hasn't yet. So we got some momentum. In other words, the price action hasn't gone any lower. That's causing the momentum to automatically reverse. Stochastic RSI is swinging up. This is a positive sign. Money flow index and RSI below 50, don't love it. But with the stochastic swinging up and MACD potentially shifting here, we could very well see the price continue upwards. This could even be the beginning of a double bottom. You truly don't know. Okay. So we're in a situation right now where the 4-hour has, again, conflicting information, but slightly more positive. More, I guess, the heavier indicators that we more so like to focus on are telling us that price may continue higher instead of going down. Okay. All that being said, taking a look at the 1-hour here, let's quickly note a couple of things. First of all, we want to look at overextension. There really isn't much of one. We had a 9 down and a 9 up, price down to a 5 and a 5 up. So kind of just squeezing here. Basically, when we start seeing shorter periods of this, the likelihood of a breakout is higher. Okay, same thing with Bollinger Bands. They start to get tighter and compress. You're going to see a breakout, and the price will move in either direction. Looking at the Ichimoku cloud, we're still below the cloud, so this is not fantastic, but good news is if you have a short position open, you should have closed it by now. So we have a lot of confirmation letting us know a short position is no longer viable. Most coins cannot say that right now. Okay, so the fact that every other coin has just been doing one of these, or more so, one of these, Filecoin's doing one of these. This is actually a good sign. Okay, so if we can break above the cloud, honor that ascending trend line, and have a closure at 620 or higher, that's where I'm going to be game for a potential continuation or long position. Keep this in mind here. This most recent high here, and I'll go and draw the line out, almost always runs concurrent. The most recent high almost always runs concurrent with the upper lead on the cloud. Really, that just implies here that a closure above that level would give us confirmation that we have a potentially good sign in taking along. Okay, and what that would do is that would pretty much require us to have the lagging span free and clear of the price action. It would pretty much be free and clear at that point, and we want the conversion line to be above the baseline, which it kind of is right now, but they're tightened together. again, we have this range bound activity. So again, a closure above one of these two levels would be important. So we want a closure above $6.21 to confirm the uptrend. A closure below, just say roughly 580, would confirm that the downtrend is still in play. Okay, so I think statistically, when we look at everything, we're like 55% probability of the price going up and 45% going down. It's too early to tell at this point. So my recommendation, like it is pretty much the entire day here so far, is to consider not taking a trade. Bitcoin ETF on the horizon, all this weird stuff's going on in the market. Bitcoin dominance is extremely high. Altcoins just bleeding out like crazy today. I mean, this is a red market. There's a few outliers, but for the most part, everything is just going down. And Bitcoin, what do you know? It's kind of going up. Isn't that a strange phenomenon? Not really. Bitcoin dominance is maintaining itself, just keeps on going up and up and up, right? When those things happen, you kind of got to pump the brakes and wait for that bottom to hit. I think Filecoin is at its bottom, though. It's definitely looking like it wants to be, but we got to give it a little bit more time to breathe. Okay. Again, folks, don't force a trade. Just wait for the good opportunity. It's okay to not be in the market. You don't have to be trading at all times to feel alive. If you're doing that, you're probably doing it wrong. Okay. You're treating it like a habit instead of a business. To me, I prefer to treat business like business and pleasure separate. Okay. Anyways, conversation for another day. Speaking of pleasure, check this out. We also got an awesome exchange that makes things easier to enjoy. No KYC, no VPN. If you use my link to register, you get awesome rewards. First of all. Second of all, we got trading competition coming up here. In 24 hours, you can register for this guy. It runs from the 15th through the 29th, and that's the very first annual futures trading competition through Bitunix. So thank you again, Bitunix, for an awesome opportunity with my community members. We're going to start having community-specific trading competitions, but you do have to use my link to register. If you don't use it, you're not eligible. It's just kind of the way that it goes. So check that out. Let me know your thoughts. If you have questions, concerns, reach out. Do not hesitate. If you want to become part of our trading community and access some of these awesome trade signals, feel free to join on up. We took some nice scalping profit to the downside here with Solana and Matic. And then, of course, for our long positions, we saw, scrolled that one way too far. Some nice profits here recently as well. I won't bother you with that, but I think it was SEI and Bitcoin. We took some nice little profits there. So good stuff there. Either way, thanks again for watching. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We will see you the next one. Take care.